to say. You know, I don't have my papers right, and I taken dialysis, and I don't want him to hear you because he might hear you, and I don't want any type of trouble or anything like that. You know, I need my dialysis. They don't have it in my country, and in the other countries, they don't do dialysis good. So I am trying to keep the peace here, but I don't like the abuse, and I don't like this kind of thing, and I don't know what he might say or what he might do, but I I just listen. I need resources. I need some place to go. I need some help. I need help. I need help, and I need somebody to help me. A place or something, something resourceful, because this is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney world. Well, good night and good evening. How are you? Welcome to the Lisa Baxter Show. I have a slamming 100% great show for you tonight. We're talking about resources on tonight. I got a fantabulous guest for you tonight. I have from Legal Hand. I have Tiffany Butters. Tiffany Butters, the manager of Legal Hand in Jamaica, New York. So she's going to give you the 411 on how to help yourself in different ways, different types. Come on here, Tiff. Come on. I'm so glad to have you. I welcome you to the show. Come on, come on, come on.
Well, thank you for having me, Lisa. Thank you so much. No, you are one of our fighters in the community, and always
Ah.
sending people to our office. So thank you so much for one having me, and also being an advocate for Legal
Ah.
Hand Jamaica.
Yes. So we have to fight out to get those referrals and stuff done. You know?
Yeah.
You looking
Yes.
fabulous tonight. Adjust your
Oh,
camera a little
thank
bit. I
you.
see just the top of your eyes there. A little better.
Okay.
Okay. That's a little better
Better.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's better. I don't see your
Mm-hmm.
on your head, but I'm missing the top. I see your eyebrow. Oh, beautiful.
Okay.
Excellent. I ain't
Thank
mad
you.
at you. I ain't mad at you. What
You
I
look
like to
beautiful yourself.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I don't know where to start, but I would
Mm-hmm.
like to ask you, how did you get into this field of this
Um.
type of film? And
mhm. So, my background is I wanted to become an attorney. So,
mm,
I graduated from Pace Law in
wow.
2016, and I was actually looking for a job. And I was like, in between looking for a job, I came
Mm,
across Legal Hand, and I
wow.
started as a volunteer. And
Hmm.
I just fell in love with the project because the project was about community outreach and helping the community. And I think as a volunteer, I just was like, wow, this is what I really want to do as a job. And
Hmm.
so I was a volunteer there for like about, say, like a year, on and off, helping, learning, connecting to people from our community, assisting in different forms and fashion. And then my position opened up, and I was so happy and I was able to get the position. Yeah.
Well, you were Johnny on the spot. So what you're telling me you
Mhm.
did, you volunteered first. People don't know
Correct.
the real thing about volunteering, how valuable that could
Mhm.
be, to add value to your
Yes.
resume, to add to your
Mhm.
experience. So you did that. So you
Mhm.
chilled or you parlayed or you waited in the cut for a year.
I did. I
Yeah.
did. And I
And
really
it paid off.
mhm.
Hmm.
And I valued my experience as a volunteer. I think sometimes, and we were talking about it earlier, that when it's your time, it's your time.
Hmm.
And I think I was held back a little bit to learn and to grow within this position. And I
Wow.
think things happen for a reason. And I think
Yeah.
Legal Hand is a blessing to the community, but also the
Oh,
people
yeah.
who are working there, volunteering there. So
What
that
was
was
some
really
of the
great.
tasks you had to do as a volunteer?
Well, as a volunteer, we greet folks who come in, like always saying welcome, explain what we do. Because they see the name and their first questions, they're like, oh, what's Legal Hand? What do you guys do? And then we're like, oh, we're not attorneys. But what we do is we connect people, resources, provide information. And then they're like, oh, but you're not attorneys. So they're like, oh, I don't want to talk to you. And then we're like, we explain them a little bit, and then after a while, they take 2 seconds and sit down, and then they come, and by the time they leave, they're like, "Oh, I didn't. I'm so happy I walked past this office, and you connect me with some resources." And
Yeah.
as a volunteer, we did intake where we asked folks basic questions,
Mhm.
just standard questions to know what resources that they are eligible for. So a lot of times during intake, people like, they're like, "Why do you need all this information? What's the
Mhm.
point of this asking so much questions?" And a lot of times as a volunteer, I would say, well, we ask these questions not to know your business, but also to see what you're qualified for. Because
Yes.
if we don't know your age, then we're not going to be able to refer you to JASA because we don't know if you're eligible or not, or
Yeah.
any other resources. So because of that, and once I say that, people are like, "Oh, okay, makes sense." And then what I would do is refer to my supervisors, ask them, if I didn't know or and I had no idea what's going on or how to connect these people with resources. Then we will work together as a team to connect folks with resources.
So once
And
you
a lot of
explain
times,
it to them, yeah, they felt more
yes,
comfortable.
I felt
Okay.
way more comfortable. And I think that's a resource that Legal Hand does that is
Mm.
just very different. That is not in a lot of service providers. We take
Yeah.
the time to explain people their rights. And I think
Mhm.
that's key. The
Yes, it
empowerment
is.
center for not just the volunteers, but also everyone who walk in. So we don't just hand them a piece of paper, but we just explain to them the process, what the next steps, what their options. Sometimes you have difficult, conversations with folks and tell them,
I'm sure.
these are their options. And
Yeah.
this is the rules and this is the laws. And unfortunately, this is the only options they have next. But
Yeah.
even when we have to have those tough conversations, they're appreciative of it. They're never
Okay.
like, oh, whatever, it's a waste of time. We do have people who are angry, and sometimes they always leave angry, and then they
Yeah.
come back, and then they apologize. And
Yeah.
we tell them, we was like, we understand you're going through
Yeah.
a tough
Yeah.
situation,
You need that
and we try
walk
not to take yeah, and
and
they
fresh
try not to
air.
take it personal.
Clear
Yeah,
your head.
and then yeah, and then they come back and they appreciate they always apologize. I had a gentleman, he came back and he apologized, and I was like, "Sir, it's okay. Our job is to just give you information. Sometimes it's not what people want to hear, and
Yeah.
we get used to that, and we try not to take it personal.
Well, I know it's not always easy news.
No,
None of this
no,
stuff is always easy news. You know what I mean?
no.
Well, your role as a manager. Now, what is your role as a
Mhm.
manager for this one? Because your place is also free. Y'all hear that? Free, not a
Free,
dime.
yes,
Yeah.
free. And we help every single person who comes in our office. You don't have to have a zip code, income bracket, or a demographic. We try to help every single person who comes in our office. So as a manager, my role is different because I manage the whole office. We
Yeah.
manage the traffic flow, the people, the volunteers on schedule, the maintenance, the events that we have, the
Oh yeah.
outreach the events that we have. So as
Hmm.
a manager, I still help people one to one because our office gets really busy.
Oh
But
yeah.
also I help manage the whole office and the traffic flow. And sometimes you have difficult visitors that I intervene with. And I explain to them like, I'm sorry that you're upset, but this is the services we provide. We don't do representation because
Yeah.
sometimes people they give them our flyer, and we're great. We're happy to help them. But
Hmm.
sometimes when they see legal hand, they think we do representation. And we tell them, no, what we do is we connect people to resources that, people don't know about. And then
Yes.
they're like, oh, well, why did they send us there? I was like, well, probably because they want you to be well informed and
Yes.
not just send you a referral. And that's what we do best at Legal Hand. We make sure that everyone who leaves is well informed. Sometimes we are learning along with our visitors. So,
Mm.
and as a manager, I do my best because, sometimes it gets a little crazy
Oh
to
yeah.
make
I know
sure
that's
that
right.
all our visitors, as well as our volunteers, feel supported and
Well,
also
I
that they
see y'all
feel
like a big family there. I
we
see that
are,
y'all,
we are.
yeah, y'all work together. Y'all work as a
Hmm.
family, and y'all piggyback off
Yeah.
each other. I notice if one of you guys get tired or
Hmm.
overwhelmed or anything, the other one jumps in and save them, like with a cape on or something. They jump in and they
Yeah.
save or say, "Can I help you?" or "Can I do this?" or "Let me take this for you." I ain't mad at you. I love that. I
Yeah,
love
it's
that.
our office culture. And I think that's the best thing about our office. Everybody says, oh, it's a big family here. And then we're like, yeah, because, sometimes everybody don't have an update. And a lot of times my best part of working at Legal Hand Jamaica is really my volunteers and the people I work with. Because even when I'm exhausted, they're like, okay, we got you, Tiff. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take this visitor, like sit down, like just deal
Hmm.
with the phones. Don't take nobody today for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Or let's make sure that we tell people we're closing early, or they take the initiative. And I think when people come into our office, as you
Yeah.
just said, that people will feel that warmth, that
Yeah.
welcomeness, and that genuine, like, we are concerned and we want to help you. And that's
Well, that's what
something
make
that
the
I
people
think,
keep returning. That's what make them
yes,
return. I've been there 1,000 times. Y'all know me now. So, I know
yes,
y'all know me. I did a long time.
yes,
Now,
yes.
what are,
You've been there
I
since I
read,
volunteered.
I read
Hmm.
one of your cards, and I wanted to have it over
Hmm.
here with me. I was digging while you was talking, but that's not
Oh,
nice to do. But I know you probably
mhm,
have one there. But I remember it saying, what is a purple
mhm,
card, because your sign is purple
mhm.
on the outside, and it
Correct.
said to help you with issues. So I saw 1,000 little issues that you talked about:
Hmm.
housing and immigration issues,
Yeah.
divorce, domestic
Yes.
violence. You know,
Yes.
um, things like that, and that would draw people
Hmm.
because people go into a lot of stuff and they don't know
Yeah.
who to turn to or who to talk to. That's why
Mhm.
sometimes I try to do funny skits or skits that deal with real issues or get a
Yeah.
person's attention, and that's one of the things about resources, because I know you guys do that. But
Hmm.
what what tell me something that I said some,
Hmm.
but I want to hear what you gonna say of some of the cases that you help. Not so much the cases, but the type. Is it immigration? What
Hmm.
else? Read it off. Tell me.
Housing. So
Uh-huh.
immigration, we know the climate of our country, so we try to help a lot of folks who come in that are looking
Yes.
for different type of resources.
Yeah.
Family, we are a block away from Family Court on Jamaica Avenue,
Oh
so we
yes.
get a lot of folks who are looking to petition for child support, child custody, or the protections, or in the domestic violence situation. Then
Wow.
also we have a lot of housing. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, housing is our biggest one. To be honest, I always say New York City is in a affordable housing crisis, and
Yes.
because of that, we get a lot of referrals from housing court, who
Yes.
from folks who they unfortunately are not qualified for an attorney,
Yes.
and but they can't afford to hire an attorney. So we
Yes.
try to explain to them the process and what arguments or what their rights are. So
Yes.
and also, and I'm gonna like touch a lot on housing because
Okay.
we provide different resources. One, we have a housing financial counselor through Ariva. He comes twice a week. He comes on Mondays and Thursdays during our
Mm-hmm.
office hours. And what he does is a housing financial counselor. And
Ah.
what that is, he goes to your income, he goes to your credit score, because regardless of what kind of housing you're going to apply for, those two factors is very important.
Say
So,
that.
and he Yes. So and he deals with primarily the Housing Connect applications, which is
Okay.
the affordable housing lottery that is throughout New York City. And
Right.
also we have a housing clinic for people with vouchers who are looking for housing. And we pair
Okay.
up with the Commissioner of Human Rights who comes
Mm-hmm.
in once or twice a month, sit down
Mm-hmm.
with folks who have vouchers to inform them of their rights and how to find out if a landlord can or cannot discriminate against them, which is
Wow.
key. Because they
Yes.
could do their search on their own, but is it better to give them tips on how to approach certain situations? And
Right.
then
Right.
also, we help people with their housing searches or try because a lot of folks, and we're seeing a lot lately, a lot of seniors,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, because property owners are selling their property, and unfortunately, some seniors they don't have places to go. They are on fixed income. So we
Yes.
try to do some searches, connect them with some senior housing options,
Yes.
also send them to Ariva Counseling. And
Mm-hmm.
also, I want to just piggyback on housing because we're going to have a housing event on
Mm-hmm.
June 13th from
Give
11 to
that
3 p.m.
address. Give them the address to that.
So our address is 14913 Jamaica Avenue. Legal has a big purple sign like
That's
Miss
right.
Baxter just said, is a block away from Family Court, and it's going to be an open house from 11 to 3 p.m. We're going to have different service providers. It's going to be legal aid, Queens Legal Services, HPD is going to be there,
Yay.
Home Base, Catholic Church, Catholic Charity. So we're going to have a lot
Yeah.
of
Okay.
organizations there.
Mm,
Just
that's
going to
excellent.
be able to like provide tenants as well as landlords some legal information resources as well.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah. So that's a lot of I know I just said a mouthful. So I know we do a lot at Legal Hand Jamaica.
You have a website as well, right?
Legalhand.org.
Mm,
So most of we have like some of our events are posted there, and also like
okay.
we have different sites. So I just want to talk about every site. So we
Yeah,
have
that was
five
my next
sites.
question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we have five sites, one in Queens right as of right now, two in the Bronx, one in Highbridge and one in Tremont, and two in Brooklyn, one in
Mm,
Crown Heights and one in Brownsville. And we each of our sites, most of the sites have an attorney or staff or and a manager, and we have either in help like volunteers or senior volunteers and interns, and we all provide the same resources. Every
yeah.
site is run a little differently, but we all do the same thing, which is connecting people to resources and referrals, and just making sure and holding events to make sure that our community is well informed of their rights. That's the most important thing, is that our
So it's not
community is connected.
So it's not just your the Queens community. You go into the other
Hmm.
boroughs as well, so they can get the
Yes,
same love, the same help, the same listening. I like
yeah,
that. I like that. It's
yes,
well rounded when it's like that, because if not, you guys would have been
hmm,
bombarded with all the boroughs or all the people
hmm,
when they can
yeah,
spread out better and more effective to
mhm.
be helped. I
Yes,
like
and
that.
it's really important. Yes, to connect with all communities.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have helped me with plenty of things when I had walked in there, and
Hmm.
when my husband had, his job had sent a check with his name on it, and they knew he had
Yeah,
passed away, and I had a hard time with switching it to my name. They act like I wasn't married to him. I had all
yeah,
the papers there to have, but you guys told me exactly what to do, and I was
yeah.
able to, the bar association helped me very good. I wanted to tell you thank you.
Okay.
The legal clinic, and I kept those numbers in my phone. That's one thing I need
Okay.
you guys to do too, is keep your stuff once you have it, because if it helped you one time, it can either help you
Hmm.
again or somebody that you know. You
That's
know,
true.
you know,
Hmm.
and also when I was living around the corner, and the
Hmm.
rent kept going sky high, and I never in all my life ever had a, what is that thing, a notice that shook me up.
Hmm.
Of course, I ran around the
Yeah.
corner. Phew, I ran around the corner, and you told me
Yes.
what to do. I went there that
Hmm.
same day after work, and I got the
Hmm.
papers and stuff I needed and everything. Was able to get the one shot deal. I never had to
Yeah.
ask for that either. That bothered me, but I had to do it. You know,
Hmm.
not the risk to be homeless. I've never been that
Yes.
before. I've never had a problem. I always pay my bills on time. But life happens, stuff happens.
Yeah.
You get into a
Yeah.
situation that you don't know how to get out of. You pray,
Hmm.
and God give you a deal or some thought. Like He gave me
He
legal
sure
hand.
does.
He gave me
He
legal
sure
hand.
does.
Yes,
Yes, and we always try to tell people like, you shouldn't be ashamed, or a lot of people are dealing with a lot of issues.
sure.
And they come in, and sometimes I always tell people they talk in third person, so they come in on behalf of someone, and then
Yeah,
we because we're a family, so we always say I think that person is talking about themselves, but they
yeah.
scared to say that.
Say
But we
that.
give them the resource, we give them the resources, and we're like, if you ever want to come back, or your friend or family, send
Yeah.
them over. And a lot of our referrals now are from family and friends. It's also
Wow.
from organization in the court, but also family and friends are like, I got help over there. You should go over there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. So
word of mouth is a good thing. Referrals are
it
good,
is.
and so
Mhm.
is word of mouth. You also let
Yes.
me use the computers there. So people, they have
Yes.
access for you to use the computer. So that was
Yes.
another help to me. And when I wasn't computer savvy, I had some challenges. They printed stuff
Mhm.
out for me, right? For
Yes,
apartments.
we did. Yes, we
Yes.
did. because we do refer people to a library, but then at the library you're by yourself. So
True.
sometimes what we do is that we have people who will sit down with you, go through listings, like show you what to do on your own if you need to, and also print out listings for you. And
Oh yeah.
then especially because I would say like our elderly population are, getting pushed out right now in like
Oh yeah.
drastic numbers. And we're seeing it. And then we as a team had a conversation like, whoa, what's going on? So we sit down with them and we're like, oh, let's go through some listings. Let's talk to you about like how to have a conversations with landlords, what to
Yeah.
say, what they're looking for, what they
Yeah.
want to hear real quickly, and those type of conversations, so they don't just leave here, leave without a piece of paper. And me and you, Miss Baxter, we had a lot of conversations. You have connected us with resources that I didn't even know about. You connect, and you like always come by, and you always leave us, you always bring your flyers, and then you take some flyers for your folks. And I'm
Yeah.
always so thankful, and I'm always so happy, because that's how a resource center is supposed to be. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be an exchange of information. It's not that
That's
one
right.
person got all the information. Is that other people could bring the information and we could circulate it back to community. And that's how
Right.
there's a community center for
Yes.
all our folks in our community to provide information so we could give it. So I'm
Because
always thankful for folks like you. Yeah.
I'm thankful for you too. I really am. Because you guys give the personal touch. If I tell a parent who to go
Hmm.
to or who it is, they know I had a
Hmm.
personal thing and they'll go there and they have to get the same service and they're happy
Yeah.
with it. And see
Yes.
that, I what's that commercial? I told two friends and they told two friends and so on and so on.
Hmm.
And the thing just grows,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
The thing just grows. And let me see. I wanted to ask you something else because
Hmm.
you had beautiful you had job fairs there. You had
Yes,
something
we
for the
do.
youth there. So speak a little
Yes.
bit about that because you had workshops. I came to the workshop. I met that
Hmm.
guy with the New York Connect, even though I was on it already. He was helpful.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the workshops we try to do every other Wednesday right now, because we don't have a staff attorney,
Uh,
but we should have one in the next few months. But try to do a workshop every other Wednesday on different topics like immigration, family issues. We also invite different organizations. So we
uh,
had New York City Department of Social Services there from
wow.
income source discrimination, and their attorney did like a fantastic presentation on like what is income source discrimination and what to like do if you're facing that, who to complain about. And then
Yeah.
other than the workshops, we had a youth fair, a youth summer opportunities fair in
Yeah.
March.
I came
So
to
we
one of them.
partnered.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I
it
sent
was
some
really
kids there,
great.
teenagers.
Yes. Yes, for like high school to young adults, like young
Mhm.
early 1920s. And
Yes.
it was really a success. We had about more than 50 kids come out. We had a few organizations there, and we partnered with Queens Youth Justice Center right across the street. They're
Oh yeah.
also a project on the Center for Court Innovation. And it was really a successful event. It was. I think a lot of organizations were pleased, and we were also pleased to just connect youth
Yeah.
in our city with resources, because a lot of times summer is coming up, summer is around the corner, and
Thank
they
you.
need things to do. They need
Yeah.
resources to do. They need to expand their horizons and not
Yeah.
just either waste the summer, even if it's getting a part-time job or doing something active. And I was so happy to see the youth so appreciative of it. Because,
Yes.
when I was younger, everybody's not the same as an adult. And when I was younger, I wanted to sleep all summer. So, and they were,
Enjoy
you
yourself
know,
from school, huh?
yeah, but they were like thankful, and they was like, "Oh, thank you." Like, I walked some ladies upstairs because they were a little nervous. They didn't know what
Yeah.
was going on. And I was like, "No, come." Give them a packet of resources. Go to each table so you know which kind of organizations would they offer, and they
Yes.
were they were happy at the end of it. So, and also we do it, and also we do new sanctuary
Mhm.
every year in January for immigration. So it
Yes.
has this year was our, I think, third annual. We had about over 50.
Mm.
folks in the community, and we also had different legal service providers and organizations that tailored
Yes,
towards immigrants and informing immigrants of their rights and connecting them with resources. So at
yes.
Legal in Jamaica, we do a lot. I'm
You
just
really
saying
do.
that, but we do a lot because we just want to make sure that yes, we have a lot of a good flow of traffic, but then also we want to target different populations, whether it's immigrants, whether it's youth, whether it's people who dealing with family
Yes,
or like housing issues. We want to
yes,
make sure that people is in our community is well informed and connected to resources.
yes, yes. And
Hmm.
you're doing that, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all
Yes.
about. Have you ever
Hmm.
had a hard case or one of your proud cases, or
Hmm.
or would you like to say anything about your proud or your great
Uh,
case that you've had? You don't have to
so
say
I think,
names, HIPAA, but
yeah, of course. So it's a woman. She's an immigrant.
uh
She
huh,
came here from I believe it's Mexico, with two small kids. They crossed the border
hmm,
and they were released from detention to her family member. And sometimes always staying with family members is not, doesn't always work
right,
out.
mm,
So they were on the street again,
wow,
and but the homeless shelter wasn't what did not want to take them in because they had another place to stay. So basically, it was a
oh,
battle
hmm,
between Department of Social Services under like shelter system and
yeah,
also the family member because how it works, which I'll be honest, I was very ignorant too, is that if you're trying to sign up for it to be in a to be in a
yeah,
shelter,
hmm,
sometimes what they do is look to see if you have any other place to stay
yeah,
before they accept you. So I think that's what happened in this case. And then she also had a case where unfortunately she didn't have representation and they made a decision against her. Well, through a lot of battling back and forth, especially with my previous our previous legal staff attorney,
uh huh.
Jenny
I
Kim.
remember her. She was
She's
excellent.
yes,
Yes.
yes. She we battled and we got them in their in the shelter system, in their
Wow.
family shelter system. And I
Hmm.
remember we I think it was around Christmas, so we all was together and she said like, she's speaking to us, she said, I thank God for the day I came into this office.
Wow.
And we all was crying. We all was crying
Yeah.
because we remember,
This
we
story
were
is in
just,
your heart. It's unforgettable.
yeah,
Yes.
unforgettable. And we helped this woman, her two, like she had 11 and a 15-year-old daughters.
Hmm.
So imagine going to school and you battling all this homelessness.
Yes.
So it was just a blessing. And sometimes, every day is not always easy, especially
No,
when you're working in the area of service. It's not. But then
you don't have
sometimes
to
there's
tell me. In
stories
social
like
work,
that.
I know that. I definitely know that. You know?
Yes. And but sometimes you get that one case on one client that comes back. And sometimes you don't even remember how you helped the client. But then they come
That's
back and
true.
they say, thank you. They said,
Yeah.
thank you. What you told me worked out. And you be
Yes.
like, oh, you're welcome. And they so thankful. Or they trying to, they sometimes they go because they want to donate. I'm like, well, we can't accept money. You have to go online. But then they're
Yeah.
like, oh, what can I do? So I was like, you could buy snacks for my volunteers if you want to, and then they go and do it. And I'm like, thank you. Because they're like, no, no, like we got to do something for you guys. And I'm just like, no, this is our job. And then
Yeah.
we get
Yeah.
so that's the best part.
That's the best part of it.
Best
Well, that
part,
kept you coming because you're still doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That kept you
Yeah.
coming. The place is not closed down. It's still sitting up there on the corner, and you had the nerve
Yes.
to open up more of them. So that means a whole lot. That means a
Yes.
whole lot. That's a feather
Yes.
in your cap. I definitely
Yeah.
appreciate you. Is there anybody would you like to say anything to that maybe they might be sick, maybe dialysis, not dialysis, any type of illness, sickness, or immigration issue, or any type of thing? Is there any words of wisdom you'd like to say?
Mm-hmm. I just want to say to don't ever stop fighting. And I
Yes.
say that because my grandmother also had to go through dialysis,
Mm-hmm.
and she had to do it she did it for a couple of years before passing, and she did not
Sorry.
want to do it, and she did not like it. But
Mm-hmm.
we told her, like, we went back and forth with the doctors, and the doctors thought this was the best. So we were
Yes.
like, okay, you gotta do it. We gotta take care of yourself. And
Yes.
her, but one thing I always admired with her, she kept pushing. So
Good.
your current circumstance is not always the end.
That's
You
right.
got to always keep pushing, always fight, always push along for the next resource because your blessing might be around the corner and you don't even know it
That's
because
right.
you're ready to give up. So keep pushing. There
Keep.
are places like Legal Hen who are
Mm-hmm.
out there to help you, to
That's right.
connect you to resources. And connecting you to resources doesn't always mean you're going to hear the answer you want to hear, but
All
you're going
right.
to hear the answer that you need to hear to make the proper decision in the future. So don't
Mm.
ever give up. Just keep pushing. Just keep
Keep.
pushing, hoping. Take care of yourself. In our office, we like to say self care is the best
Uh-huh.
care. Because if you
Ah,
don't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of other people?
that's right. You know,
And
like the
sometimes,
Bible, you got to get strong and then strengthen your brethren.
correct. So just keep on fighting a good fight. And always
Yeah.
be resourced. I always said to you, Miss Baxter, I see you. And I was like, at first I said, hi, Miss Baxter. Yeah, I'll be with you in 1 second. Especially if I'm like with somebody, I say, how you doing? Just give me 1 second. I'll be with you. And
Yeah.
like I said, you are a resource to us. Our other visitors, they are a resource to us. And we just have to continue circulating it.
That's
We don't
right.
know what our resource to other people will be. But
Yes.
sometimes we're going through our own, what we are
That's right.
going through. I'm telling you, each and every one of us can be a resource to other people, and that
That's
is what Legal Hand is about.
That's right. All right. You couldn't get no better than that. You're my
Yes,
my
thank you.
contact, and I'm your contact. You
Of
know,
course.
is there any family member you want to say anything to, or any coworker before I start to
Um,
end the show?
I would like to say a shout out to my team at Legal Hand Jamaica. We are,
Woo!
you are great as a team. You are a great team, like Ms. Baxter said. Our office culture, it is the way it is because of each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the outstanding work that you guys do on a daily basis, the listening ear, the concern, the just everything that you do. Thank you, each and every one of you. And shout out to our old staff attorney, Johnny Kim. We miss her
Yes.
dearly,
Uh-huh.
but she has laid out such a good foundation for us.
Yes, she
And we
did.
are continuing her work and her legacy at Legal Hand Jamaica. And I'm thankful for each and every person that I've worked with and all the folks who come through our doors. Thank you so much.
Wow, wow. That was
Yeah.
beautifully said. Thank
Oh, thank
you,
you.
Tiffany, so much for coming on. And
Oh, of
thank you for
course.
what you do. Keep up the good, excellent, fantabulous work. I ain't mad at
Thank
you. I'm
you.
very proud of you. You better go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so
Okay?
much, Ms. Baxter. And I'm looking
Anytime.
forward to seeing you soon,
I'll be over
especially at the
there.
request fair next week on
Oh,
Thursday.
okay. Uh-huh.
Yes. All right,
Okay.
but thank you so much.
Thank you. Be well
All
and
right.
be blessed. Well, thank you,
Same to you.
everybody. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking something from it. Get some nuggets, get some information, get those resources, get on out there. Comb your resources through your neighborhood and your community. You can't go wrong with it. It's right by your door. You don't always have to travel, it's right next to you. Peace, love, blessings. It's your girl giving you the 411. See you next week. Thank you for tuning in. Bye and good night.